If you're looking for adventure this summer, escape with Marvel Comics. Fight crime with Spider-Man, meet the Fantastic Four, and watch Captain America in action. May the Force be with you as you battle the evil empire in Star Wars. Discover the secrets of the South American jungle in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And with Marvel Comics, you're never alone because they can go with you in the car or to the park, even on a rainy day. Marvel Comics are your ticket to fun and adventure this summer.
I'm back. Look at this. 2 videos in a week. Amazing. I'm pretty happy about this. The first video did pretty well. I'm not unhappy. In fact, I'm kind of overjoyed. A lot of people I really look up to, guys like Longbox Love Affair, said some really nice things. Go check out that guy's channel, by the way, Longbox Love Affair. Really, really, the guy loves comics, and it's just addictive. Nemesis Prime, thank you. Otto, Everett, from 3 Men in a Basement, same thing, man. You guys are the coolest. And there's so many more. I just don't have it written in front of me, the people that got back to me, that were just the coolest about this. And I thank you all, and everyone else as well. I have some more books. I'm pretty stoked. There's some, couple duds, but there's a lot of good ones too. And we're just I'm gonna split these up into a couple videos because I felt like the 40-minute video was a little long, a little bit too much to take on. So why don't we just do this and see what happens? And if it works, it works. I'm learning here, guys. So let's go. Let's do this. So I got a few books back, as I said. The first book that popped up was a book I really loved as a kid, and I think everyone did around 86 it came out. And this poster was on every comic book shop in the 80s. It was like, when you walked into any comic shop, there was at least this poster or 1,000 of his titles floating around. It was the book for a little bit, right around the time Dark Knight Returns came out. The book I'm going to mention is Punisher Limited Edition #1. That Mike Zeck cover, it's incredible, isn't it? It's just so dynamic. And I mean, this is an era where you just didn't see quality like this all the time. It popped up quite frequently, but it wasn't enough. This guy, every time he did a cover, it was just a home run. Anyway, I love this book. I've always owned copies of it, but I decided to send in a couple of the copies I had. And they were really nice, like super nice. Thinking that we're gonna come back 9.6, 9.8, hopefully. And unfortunately, 9.4. It just happens sometimes. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, with a book like this, and in 9.8s, these go for quite a bit for what it is. It's about a $350 book, $300 to $350. That's a lot for a very published book. And unfortunately, when you get to 9.6, it drops down to like 140. You get to 9.4, I think it's below 100. I'm a little surprised by that. I don't know if it's that Punisher's not popular right now. I think that's maybe the case. People are more interested in all the other superheroes that exist out there. And people just aren't seeing, he hasn't really been nailed, in my opinion, on the big or little screen. So with that in mind, maybe that's the reason? I don't know. Anyway, saying that, I got a 9.4. I'm not unhappy, but I'm not super stoked either. So, moving on. Another one. This one's a 9.6. I'm a little happier with this. Obviously, this is the kind of book you want in a 9.8. I'm probably just going to sell both of these in the hopes that I could just PayPal it up to a 9.8 and just buy a 9.8. It just doesn't look like my luck is very good with this book. And that's all right. I mean, these are great books. I mean, there's collectors out there who would love to have this in their collection. And in fact, honestly, I may even keep the 9.6 and just leave it in my collection. I do like it a lot. I mean, again, that cover. Boom. But I don't know if you guys remember the 80s, if many of you are that old. This was one of those books, man. It was like one of those top 10 books for a long time. And it's kind of fallen out of favor, but that's all right. Everyone wants the Amazing Spider-Man 129, I guess. Okay, so I got a few others. Let's see what else we got here. I got a X-Men 244 9.8. This is the first Jubilee. Not a character I'm like super stoked about, but nonetheless, like you know, she's an X-Men, and it's her first appearance. And you know, for the past few years, I've been kind of just, you know, everyone knew that MCU would take on X-Men at some point, and it just was inevitable. And I started hearing those rumors that Disney was going to buy Fox and blah blah blah, and so I just immediately went out and just kept snagging, you know, these kind of keys, like these from like one, you know, after the burn run 143 all the way up into 300. Like if there's any kind of like odd key, like first lock key, whatever, I would just grab them because they were cheap. And honestly, I think I grabbed this for about $8 a number of years ago, and you know, I it did all right. I mean, I think this is not a cheap book now. You know, it's not like it's a $60 and 9.8 book. It's in the hundreds, and I think it only has to go up. You know, if this hits the MCU again, this is big time stuff. It's just good to have. I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna like keep this one long term. And 9.8s, I mean, I love X-Men, so in all honesty, this will probably just stay in my collection. Next up to bat, I got a X-Men 221 9.8. This one's a cool one because it's first Mr. Sinister, and there's been a lot of talk about that character recently. Again, it's MCU stuff, so it's all rumored, and the rumors are a weird thing because I'm you know, I work in film too, and I hear rumors through my work and stuff, and sometimes even hear real things. But at the same time, I find most of this stuff, like there is so much clickbait out there. There's rumors out there of certain people or characters entering things that just simply aren't true. And there's guys out there who are making money just by telling you lies. And I'm not going to name names, but there is some sites out there that are pretty bad. We got this covered, being one of them. There's a few others. I'm sure you know them. You just can't believe a damn thing they say. And so don't go investing based off of some of those rumors. It's not smart. I don't think it's a terrible idea to grab first appearances in high grade of any era, really. That's always decent if you can get them for a low price. I mean, long term, no problem there, but you got to be careful. It's like you can't go and drop, you know, this book here, I think goes for nearly $200. And if you were to go and grab 5 of them as a long term thing, hoping Mr. Sinister is the next Thanos, you know, that's $1,000. And I'm, you know, you might make your money back in a bit. And hey, if Mr. Sinister kicks in, that's awesome. But I don't know. So at the end of the day, you should buy them because you love them. And because then you won't care if they go up or not, because they're just going to stay with you. Saying that, talking about odd characters, I do dig this. As I mentioned in the last video, huge cosmic fan. Love cosmic characters. This is a very unknown character. Some people know about him, but it's not really a character that is well known. You know, my kids don't know this character, and quite frankly, they shouldn't. So I'm going to introduce you to Micronauts number 8, 9.8. I'm pretty excited about that. This was a raw pickup I picked up in a con. I've quite a few of this book, actually. They're cheap. They're super cheap. You can pick them up for under $5 even sometimes if you just go digging. Micronauts is a weird one because they are doing a movie that's apparently going forward, and that's a real deal thing. Unfortunately, that's owned by the toy company. So this character is actually created by Marvel. This character is in the Marvel universe, and this character will not be in the movie. Saying that, he's an interesting character to spec on, simply because we get into the cosmic world, and all bets are off. I mean, for the price you can get these for, it's not a bad, you know, deal. And it's a pretty cool book. You know, a 9.8 bronze title. Yeah, it's great to add to the collection. I just love this book. I think it's a cool cover. And I think there's potential there. I really do. He's a cool character if you go look him up. Saying that, I had a book yesterday that I was talking about, Fantastic Four 164, and I got back in a 9.6, and that's the first appearance of Frankie Ray. And it's in higher grades, it goes for mega money, like considering what it is. It's like who's Frankie Ray? But not just that, all the books around it go for, not much. Even in 9.8, you can get them for nothing. But that one's like $1,000, $1,100 at 9.8. I was lucky enough to get a 9.6. I don't even know what that's valued at right now, but yay for me. But it's a book that'll stay in my collection. The other book that will probably stay in my collection is this. This is kind of the brother-sister book to that one. This is Frankie Ray Becomes Nova. And kind of a herald of Galactus after Silver Surfer. And it's a gorgeous Byrne cover. This run Byrne did in the 80s. I mean, he just stepped it up. They're really cheap, these books. And this book's heated up in the last little while because there has been rumors about that, that she's going to be this second Herald of Galactus. If you want to believe them, believe them. I want to believe them, but it's up to you. I just think this is a great book. And, you can, if you look around for books like this era, you can find them in collections, you can find them in dollar bins if you go looking hard enough. They still exist there. They really do. You just have to be the first guy to find it. But anyway, I got a 9.8, and I can't be happier. This is a good one. This will stay in the collection. I really like this book. I have like 5 or 6 more going into CGC at some point. I just don't know when. Anyway, Fantastic Four 244. I could not recommend enough. It's just a great cover, and even if you're just collecting for covers, this is the way to go. I don't want those to fall. Oh, okay. So out of this video, this is the book I'm most happy with, simply because it's really spiked, and we got a TV series coming out for it on Disney Plus, which could really open this up as being like a really powerhouse character down the road. Who knows? But saying that, She-Hulk #1. Yeah, I'm holding that with one hand. Anyway, I'm palming it. Anyway, it's a 9.8. I am quite happy about that. I have another 9.8. This is a book that I just didn't get, and I ended up having to pay a bit for it. Not a ton, but like I think I paid $60 Canadian for that, which is like I think $3 American. I'm kidding. It's probably like 45. But saying that, this book's just exploded. I think in 9.8 it's about a $400 book. That's amazing to me. And it's nice to get a 9.8. I'm really happy about that. It's got a ton of potential. It's one of those books that I think we're going to be, I think a lot of people are going to want, especially if she becomes the character that everyone's hoping she's going to be. She's, I don't know how they're going to implement her, quite frankly, because she was kind of a farce when she came out. And for me, the only time she became cool is when Byrne did that run in the late 80s of her. And when he did that, I thought she was cool, but maybe it was just because Byrne drew her, but he at least made her relevant. And because she was just a joke to me. But then I wasn't a little girl when it came out, and some might debate that, but it's an interesting book. And I think it would be smart to have a copy or two if you're a collector, or even if you're just speccing. I think this one, the 9.8, or the other one I have, will stay in my collection probably as long as I have a collection. It's a good one to just have in there, because I love that era, like the bronze and copper #1s. Big fan, like Micronauts #1, things like that, Eternals, Nova, that kind of stuff. Just have 9.8s in that. It's just the coolest for me. I just love looking through them. And you should have 9.8s for that era, because I mean, if you're my age, these books were common as dirt, at one time. I know as grading's gotten stricter, they aren't as common, obviously, but you know, again, if you go looking, you should be able to find 9/8 raw, you know, and get them, you know, and flip them into a CGC container. You'll have some hits and some misses here and there, like AKA the Punisher #1 over there, which I cannot get a 9/8 for some damn reason. But this one, I think you can. I think you can get this. So that's my advice. Go out and get a She-Hulk #1. You know, the economy is a little weird right now. I think there's some crazy deals out there to be had. Not that you're taking advantage of people. People need money. And so if they want to give you a deal, let them. It's good to keep the money rotating. So get yourself a She-Hulk #1. I think it'll be a good thing. So that's it for this one. There'll be more to come. And I think you're going to like the next one. I'm just going to say X-Men Bronze Age. Anyway, have a great time. Thanks for all the advice. Could you subscribe? Because I heard that's a good thing. And like the video. That'd be even better. Well, I don't know. Subscribing might be better. But anyway, just do one of those things and I'll love you forever. I truly will. And you guys have a great day. And I will see you very soon.
My spider sense tells me this cake isn't for eating. It's for throwing!
Your cake!